guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited today. It's like 15 degrees and I can finally put my dress on and I don't have to go outside wearing a parka. I'm really excited, but that means we're heading into festival season. So like Coachella, Rockfest, Jazz Festival, Blues Festival, a lot of good stuff in the summer. So I wanted to kind of do a look that was sort of festival focused, a little bit of sparkle, you know. I gotta be honest, I wanted to do kind of a crazy lip color thing today because I know that's very festival oriented. I'm just not feeling it. It's not a good look for me, so I kind of went away from that. So this is what I kind of came up with today. It's a little bit of sparkle on my face, a little bit of sparkle on my eyes, and it's kind of nice. So we'll call it a toned down festival look. Yeah, let's call it that. So once again, I will leave the list of everything I used in the description box down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. So this is the look for today, and I really hope you guys enjoy. So the main palette we're going to use today is the Smoky Eye Beige Cosmetics palette. I will link the list down below. So we're going to go in with one of the first blue shades. It's sort of a medium blue. It's got a little bit of sparkle in it. And I'm taking a Beige Cosmetics flat definer brush. I find these brushes are really good to be precise if you want to put shadow in a specific area without blending it out too much. So we're going to take that all the way from the inner corner to the outer corner. It's really important not to go into your crease very much at all. We'll smoke this out later. But it's just to kind of put the color on the lid and form a base for the darker blues and the shimmer to go on afterwards. I find, especially when working with darker shades, if you use a blending brush or a little bit more of a sort of smudge brush, you're going to end up with, especially blue, you're going to end up with blue all over your face, and it just looks like a big mess. It starts to look, well, quite frankly, messy, and we don't want that. So try to be as precise as you can, especially with the first shadow that goes on. It kind of sets the tone for the rest of the eye look, and it enables you to blend out those darker colors afterwards. So now we're going to go in with a darker blue shade from the palette. I think it's the darkest shade in this actual palette. And we're using a crease brush. It is an e.l.f. crease brush. I actually really love this. The bristles on it are really thick and it's super helpful to put color in a specific place. Don't use it for blending. Just a side tip, it doesn't blend very well. You'll see me try to do the blending motion and it kind of gets stuck a little bit. So use it to deposit the color, but don't use it to blend very much. And you want to just stick that color on the outer corner. Try not to go far past your pupil. So just kind of do it from the outer corner about halfway into the middle corner. It does get a little bit messy with this brush, but I do find with darker colors it's the best brush to deposit the color so that it stays pigmented and that you can actually see it, and kind of work the color with the brush as best as you can to get the blended portion the best way you want it. So now using a blending brush, it's sort of a tapered end blending brush. We're going to go in with that same dark blue and start to smoke it up towards the eyebrow bone, so up towards the brow bone. This sort of blends what you've deposited a little bit without moving the pigment, without moving the shadow that you've just placed there very much. And you just want to go back and forth, windshield wiper motions. Try not to go, again, too far up to your eyebrow bone. You just want to keep it within that outer corner and blend it outwards and back and forth until you get the desired look that you're trying to achieve. Then we're going to go in with that flat definer brush again, and I've selected sort of a brighter turquoise color from the palette, and we just want to kind of highlight the inner corner here. So you're taking that same Beige Cosmetics flat definer brush, and you're just putting a little bit of the product on the inside corner of your eyes, and you don't want to go too far in, just a little bit. You can see me not go past my pupil at all because we really want the blue to stand out here. This is just to highlight sort of the inner corner of your of your eyes and brighten up that look so it's not so blue. Then we want to go in and take a blending brush. This is an e.l.f. blending brush. Again, I love e.l.f. brushes. I actually have quite a few of them. I find they're very inexpensive and they're very good quality. So I'm not putting really any additional product on this brush. I'm just kind of blending everything that I have. We don't want, at the end of the day, harsh lines because that kind of creates an incomplete look. We just want to blend outwards so that everything looks smoked out and you can see the transition of color between the inner all the way to the outer. So now I am actually going in with a drugstore eyeshadow. It is the L'Oreal Amber Rush shadow, and I find this shadow is super pigmented, which I absolutely love. I sprayed my flat definer brush with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus, and this just allows the product that you actually place on your lid, it allows the product to stay and almost adhere to it. It almost acts as like a glue. And then after you've placed the sparkle where you'd like it, you just go over with a blending brush to kind of blend it out and create the transition from the sparkle to the lighter blue to the darker blue on the outside. So now moving on to foundation and skin. I'm using a primer here. It's Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. It's like 10 bucks at the grocery store or at Walmart. But I'm telling you, it is one of the best drugstore primers I have ever seen. If you don't see me do primer in a video, it's because I did it before I filmed it. I am a huge fan of primer. I think it makes a huge difference. I also have quite a bit of redness in my skin, and the way that I get rid of this is I use, the one I'm using here is Essence Say No to Redness. It's in the shade 10 Pastel Green. Green, it's almost like a concealer. This acts to sort of create a barrier and minimize your redness. So I do get quite a bit of redness on my cheeks, my chin, and my forehead. So I tend to put sort of the green concealer in those areas, and you'll see when I put my foundation on, it helps to balance the shade out. So my foundation is Maybelline Fit Me Foundation, normal to oily skin. This is in the shade Beige Chair? No. Nude Beige, it's called, and it dries matte and completely poreless. It is my go-to everyday foundation. I love this foundation. It is absolutely amazing, especially for a drugstore foundation. It has the quality of a luxury one, which I really, really love, and it's like half the price. I'm using an e.l.f. Powder brush, it's called. So theoretically, it is a powder brush. However, I use it kind of like a flat top kabuki brush, like the Sigma F80. I love this brush. I use it every single day, and it is really not meant to be a foundation brush, but I find it just works so well for exactly what I wanted it to do. And it's $3 at like Walmart or Shoppers or at your local drugstore. $3, and it just deposits the foundation on my face so clearly and so evenly. It also allows me to build my foundation in certain areas. You'll notice I build around my nose a little bit more because that's where I'm the oiliest. I also build around my chin. So this shade looks a little bit dark for my face. I realize that, but I promise you I match the shade to my neck, not to my actual face. So if I'm a little bit more tanned on my neck, as is usually in the summer, I tend to pick a darker shade for my face. So now moving on to concealer. This is again another concealer I use almost every day. This is the Maybelline, again, Master Conceal by Studio Face. Camouflaging Concealer it's called. It's in the shade 20 Light. I always pick a concealer that's two shades, probably one or two shades lighter than my foundation, because not only does it act to cover up your dark lines, it also acts to highlight certain areas of your face, which is why you see me not only put it underneath my eyes, but a little bit on my forehead, my nose, my cupid's bow, my chin. And then we go in with a damp beauty blender and blend it out so that it kind of, you'll notice there's a very stark difference. It doesn't, because of the camera, it doesn't look that white in real life, to be honest, but it's a good way to kind of show you guys the transition. Again, so you want to take the damp beauty blender. You don't want it soaking wet. You just want it damp, and blend out the concealer without removing it. So kind of just lightly pat, go over it on the forehead, the nose, and the chin as well, and make sure everything is blended and you don't have any sort of harsh lines between where your foundation ends and your concealer begins. You also, after you're done blending, you also want to make sure you set concealer, especially heavier concealers. In this one, I am using an e.l.f. product. It is an HD under eye setting powder. I recently purchased this. Again, it was $6, but it is phenomenal. It actually lasts all day, and I get no caking, no obvious lines between where the foundation ends and the concealer begins. It was a phenomenal product. Again, for a drugstore product, I was very impressed. So now moving on to eyeliner, I am using a Body Shop product. It is the liquid liner in the shade Black. I have been using this product for years and years. It is my go-to sort of liquid liner pen. The applicator is super easy to use, and it is black. It stays all day. It is actually a wonderful product. I know Body Shop isn't really known for their makeup, but this was just one of those diamond in the rough things that I found, and it kind of stuck with me. So I absolutely love it. I encourage you guys to go and check it out. So I am just doing a basic line today. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm not doing a wing liner, and you totally could for this look. I think it would look absolutely beautiful. I just found for my purpose, I kind of like this straight line a little bit better. Like, what did we do before wing liner? This is what we did. So I'm just drawing this simple straight line. And I do sort of increase it. I go from the inner corner to the outer corner, and it starts out very thin in the inner corner, and I gradually just thicken it until I get it to the desired line that I'm looking for, and I find it helps to kind of open my eyes and brighten them a bit. I'm also taking a liner. This is a sort of a satin liner by MAC. It is in the shade Nude, and I like to kind of highlight my waterline on the bottom lash line, just because I find, I just poked my eye out there, just because I find it helps to brighten your eyes even more, even when you do liner on the top or mascara, all of that. I find putting a lighter color on your bottom lash line just really opens up your eyes. It's incredible what that little thing will do for your overall look, and it's very subtle. It's not something that people notice right away, but I found this liner from MAC is just great for achieving that sort of look. So now I'm doing mascara. I'm using the same mascara. I've talked about this in previous videos as well. It is the L'Oreal Voluminous Black is Black mascara. I always go to this mascara. It is absolutely one of my favorites. And again, it's very inexpensive. You can get it at the drugstore for $6 or $7. And I'm just putting that on my top lashes, a couple of coats, or 3 or 4, and on my bottom lashes as well. So just as a side note, I did do my eyebrows in this. I do it coming up. I just don't do it on camera because I find eyebrows very boring. But I can definitely list the product I use. It's just one product. I can list it down below in the description box. So now I'm just going in with a little bit of blush. This is a NYX blush, and it's in the color Hamptons. I'll link it down below as well. It's a beautiful peachy pink color. This is one of my go-to blushes. Again, very inexpensive, but I absolutely love it. So I know I talk a lot about drugstore products, but if I'm going to spend money, I'm going to spend it on lipsticks. So this is a Tarte lipstick. It is a matte liquid lip by Tarte, and the name of it is Birthday Suit, and it's a pretty nude pink color. But because my eyes were sparkly, I thought to add a little bit of sparkle to my lips as well. I'm using a MAC lip gloss on top of this, and it is an Ariana Grande version. I'm not sure if it's discontinued or not, but I'll definitely link it down below if it's still available. But it is one of my shimmery, subtle, sort of sparkly lip glosses. I kind of throw it on my way out the door kind of thing if I don't have much makeup on. But those are the two shades that I use on my lips. So that is the final look, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we will see you in the next video. Take care, guys.